Hope you guys are doing great. Welcome back to the lands of Chark, where we will play our first game of 2025. Yoo-hoo! Alright, welcome to the plains of Sudbury, where the forces of Aurelian trying to counterattack after the Timordans attempted to recapture Walden, but were repulsed. The Duke is concerned about more and more attacks across the border, so he wishes to create a larger and larger buffer zone while he continues to grind down the force of Timordia. Well, they continue to consort with orcs and goblins in the area, bringing them onto their forces and mobilizing them, and their never-ending mass of numbers against the forces of Aurelia. This battle will hopefully secure the province of Sudbury. Forces of Timordia have sallied forth and have occupied a ridge near the border and are going to try to repulse this slightly larger force of Aurelians that's coming to attack them. This will be my first game of Midguard Heroic Battles, which I'm very excited to try out. And we'll go over the forces here. It's pretty much, these games are pretty, so from what I can tell, these games, they don't play a lot of terrain, doesn't have a ton to do with it. Hills does, though. So I thought I'd give an advantage. Since the Timordans are defending their home territory, they would hopefully find a place that that favors them and wait for the Aurelians to come to them. So they are on this ridge line. Now we're behind the Aurelian lines, and we can see it's a decent sized hill that the Timordans are sitting upon, just kind of waiting for them. At some point this year, I am going to do some kind of documentary background video on this whole campaign world and what's happened so far, but I've just enjoyed having multiple different rule systems kind of rolled into a campaign world, and here we go, adding another one. So this will be Midgard. We'll go over the forces. The map itself is 15 foot by 7. Forests on the left, hills dominate the far side of the table that the Timordans are defending their province that the Aurelians are trying to seize. So we've got a river on the right hand side here with some more trees over to this side. I have no idea what to expect from these rules. I'm just going to enjoy playing them. I do like the way they're set up. I like the way they can they're simple enough and complex enough at the same time, and I like the fact that you can do multiple different time periods, including fantasy, which is always fun for me. So you can still have that medieval combat feel, but you can throw in a little bit of extra stuff. We'll go over the forces of Timordia defending it, and we'll go over the 3 champions in charge, and then go over each of their contingents, and then we'll get to hacking. I think I'm seriously getting into my 3rd year of fighting in this campaign world, so it might even be longer for these gentlemen, but any war that drags on for 3 years, the forces will start making some adjustments. And kind of consistent with that fact, the leadership of each dukedom is starting to move towards nobility running these battles, being commanding, and they're a whole breed of professional soldiers starting to arrive. Guys that have been fighting for years, they've been on every single battle. So now we'll start seeing less and less nobility out here, and more guys that really just look insane and are ready to chop people up. And that's why I'm starting to get these 3D printed anti-paladins, basically, and I'm going to start making them into commanders, and they'll start playing a bigger and bigger part of this in this campaign world as it continues to grow. Leading the center contingent of the Timordan forces defending Weldrake is Hugh de Slaughter. He's a level 3 leader. He is his traits are Army Commander, Fearsome, Today We Fight, and he has a legendary weapon, which is that sword, which he's named Blood Cleaver, which he's used in many battles, slaughtering as many Eurylians as he possibly can. So his contingent is quite large, and they're here in the center. Byron Hammerfast, another level 3 leader. He is leading the contingent to Hugh's right. He's got a good chunk of troops, including the orcs and all the mercenary knights, plus the bows and crossbows on top of this hill. He's got some provincial forces too, some provincial footmen. They're going to try to keep the orcs in check. He's also a level 3 leader. He's got Battle Smiter. He's inspiring, and he has Hold Fast. Proven battlefield commander. And then on the far left is the final leader, leading the cavalry contingent and trying to keep a hand on the hill giant that is pledged. There's his support to the forces of Timordia is Wilfred Dugor. He's another level 3 leader. He's got Brutal with me, and he's mounted, so this should be kind of fun. And then anytime you got a hill giant monstrosity is just that's a great day. He's got 3 cavalry contingents. Overall, the forces of Timordia have 49 reputation points, which works out to starting with 13 reputation coins. And yeah, I love it. I found these like fake metal gold doubloons on Amazon, and I think we got 13 of them. We're going to put them in this little purse, and then if we need more of them, if they do good things, they'll get more of them. So that's how this game is measured. And once you lose all your reputation points, it's all over. Jingle, 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 they're in the purse. I'm just going to mark Mighty Deeds with micro dice, not any particular number, just the total number. So 3, and that's consistent throughout the forces of Timordia. It'll be the same thing over there for the Eurylians. Just pan across the Eurylian forces. They get their cavalry and their giant to the left. Start getting into some provincial knights, some royal footmen, royal spearmen, their royal foot knights, light infantry, or yeah, back there. And then they have a lot of the as a kind of pivot in the way I'm going to do each force. They have all of the mercenary forces from across the realms have kind of joined these have joined the Eurylian forces as the Timordans have kind of sank into this, picking up the goblins and orcs. Everyone wants to be no one wants to hang out with those guys. They smell bad. And you can see as they go across to the right, you've got Berserkers of Odenheim, Kaldani Spearmen, Kaldani Pikemen, Osmanian Nomads. They've got the whole shabil shebangy bang. The commander of the forces of Eurylia, if I can find him, and there he is, Mordrith Deathbringer with his mighty Maul Deathbringer, which he's going to crush some skulls with. He's a level 3 leader. He's got Army Commander, Fearsome and Brutal. He's an absolute psychopath that the Eurylians have just turned loose on anybody they can figure out they want to kill. So he's ready to wage war and wreak havoc in on the Timordans. But there he is. He's a boss. A veteran of many battles and promoted from the ranks of the Royal Foot Knights is Galen Shattersword, another level 3 leader. He has proven himself time and time again. He has a Battle Smiter, inspiring and hold fast. Should do good, especially commanding these pikes from Kaldani. He also has the northern and the southern units. And commanding the cavalry wing and trying to keep a hand on the hill giant is Sir Michael Infernus. He is another psychopath with brutal with me and mounted level 3 leader, ready to he's ready to do battle big time. And with this Aurelian force attacking and the Timordans being on the hill, the Aurelians are slightly larger with a total reputation of 53, generating on the grid inside of the book 14 and I can't remember what they're called. 14 reputation tokens to go along with that. They are boss, man. I'm going to tie up their bag with their coins in it, and we've already assigned the Mighty Deeds for the turn, so that's the first step of every turn one. The Aurelians are the aggressor. They will be moving first, and we'll get to the battle. As you see, the previous attack came from Sudbury, trying to take Walden after it was captured. Early in the war, Bournemouth had fell. The Aurelians had been able to capture this back. Over time, we're able to ground down Walden, which was the launch point for many Timordan attacks into southern Aurelian territory. Secured this, and now they want to push farther west, driving towards the heartland of the Timordan Empire. They can almost cut it in half here if they can go through Sudbury and into Narngeth. The big thing is to cut off these southern and western or southwestern provinces from Osmana and the holy city of Chark, which will be a moral dilemma for many of these Timordan people who like to make the pilgrimage to the holy city of Chark and thank the Holy Seer for their defeat thousands of years ago of the undead army that plagued this area. So Sudbury will be the focus of this attack. The forces of Timorda have deployed just inside the border on this ridgeline, hoping to prevent the loss of this area. As far as they're concerned, these two provinces here, Canalian and Sudbury, are their two big launching points as they try to retake Walden, hopefully be able to push the Aurelians back into Weldrake and Swathford. Alright, let's get into turn one for the Aurelians. Just a quick note, of course this is my first game, so any and all help will be appreciated. And two, the frontage across your units determines the spear throw, which is the base of base movement of this game is 5 inches for my troops. So we shall see what happens there. Let's get going. I'm excited. Woo! Alright, we're going to start on the left of the Aurelian line with Galen Shattersword. Looks over at the Berserkers of Odenheim. They're going to go forward 1, and they're going to try to go for a second with command test. And just like that, we're playing Midguard. They move forward 10 inches. Alright, do the same thing with 2 moves with the pikemen. I'll probably speed things along in the next turn. Just going easy this first time. Let's show you how it works. See how quick it can go. And also for me just learning and stuff. So want to go back and watch this. Alright, the southern Kaldani pikemen are going to go, followed by the Immortals. Right, they failed their move, so we're going to try a Mighty Deed so they can go 2. Hopefully we don't have to burn all the Mighty Deeds for movement, but I think it's a little safer now in turn 1. Using the Mighty Deed works out. Both pike units keep up with the Berserkers of Odenheim. Always moving these pikes is always a dangerous thing. These are metal pikes from Footsore. So they will, ouch, they will stab you if you don't pay attention. Alright, speaking of someone else that'll stab you if you're not paying attention, the Immortals of Shubia. They're chewing on bones and everything else. Here we go. Alright, we got one smooth line here going forward. Start off with the Osmanian Nomads covering the flank. Just kind of keeping the left covered of those Berserkers. Trying to move forward 2. They succeed. Now we're on to the longbowmen, trying to keep up with the pikemen. And finally the crossbowmen will be the final thing for this hero to move. So pretty smooth movement there for Gale and Shattersword, getting the left wing of the Aurelians to move forward in formation. Looking absolutely sexy, in my opinion. And only burned one mighty deed to make all that happen. I think we'll go to the right flank, and then we'll end with Mordrith. But we'll go over to Michael Infernus on his horse. Now this Hill Giant's got a special rule. I've got to check on that. I think he just basically thinks everyone else is a little cockroach and doesn't want to deal with them. These two units are drilled, so they wouldn't even have to have checked. If I read the rules right, during their movement phase, if it requires just a normal check, they don't roll. They roll one less dice, so they would automatically pass the second roll anyway. I think what drilled does. Basically, you can't use a mighty deed on a monstrosity unless you are attached to him, and then to be attached to him you have to have the Beastmaster trait, which I do not have. So if he fails movement, that's just too bad, because he is aloof. Too good to be true, baby. Alright, cavalry moving forward. They move 2 spear throws per movement, so they could be booking here. I think I'm going to stay in touch with the rest of the formation and just take the automatic move and move forward 2 spear throws. We know Grom will go 1 move, which is 5 inches. Let's see if we can get him to go 2. Grom wasn't feeling it, so he just moves forward 1 spear throw, kind of falls behind a little bit, and he doesn't really care what you think about him. Alright, we'll go to the center. Yes, these royal footmen in front are all drilled, so they automatically move 2 without even checking. The only things that aren't drilled are these provincial foot knights and these royal light infantry. So they'll both do a check. I'll probably both do them at the same time, just mark them with 2 different dice. Alright, that finishes the Aurelian movement phase. The best, the longest range stuff we have are the crossbows and the longbows, which are shooting 4 spear throws or 20 inches. They are just out of range, probably maybe 6 to 7 inches out of range right now. And yeah, so there's no shooting, and that is their movement. We go over to the Tymordans. I might move them a little bit, but not too much. We'll see. Big thing for them is going to be maintaining their advantage on the hill. The hill, if I read the rules correctly, it serves as a, if you're uphill from someone, it serves as like an extra support. So it gives you an extra save in combat. Starting on the right, Byron Hammerfast is going to be content just to move his troops forward 1 move, which is automatic since they don't have any stamina loss yet. He has 2 units of mercenary knights, and his orcs move up to the edge of the hill. Behind those gentlemen are the crossbowmen and the longbowmen, and then his provincial medium foot and his provincial knights, foot knights, move out to the far right. Definitely looking to surprise the Tymordans and possibly, the Aurelians, and possibly outflank them on the right. That's his little plan inside of his little teeny 28mm brain. Dieu des Slaughter is going to do the exact same thing, but shifting to the right a little bit and try to connect a little better with these gentlemen. All of his units are drilled except for his light footmen, which will roll at the end. Oh, Tymordans are doing a wonderful job occupying the ridge line. Yeah, baby. Alright, we got the cavalry out here with the giant. See if the Tymordans will have more luck with their monstrosity than the Aurelians did. Wilfred Dugor is going to keep his cavalry here. He's going to try to move his giant into this area that was vacated by these other forces. See if this works or if it's a total he laughs at him. At least we'll get one move out of it. Unlike Grom, Ulak is willing to play nice. So he moves over 2 moves, and yeah, kind of bridges the gap between these two forces and the cavalry contingent on the left wing. He's kind of, Wilfred's kind of happy with his location right now. Really doesn't want to close in. We'll see if that bites him in the butt later on, because I have no idea about tactics in this game. But yeah, baby, looking good. Oh yeah, I forgot the giants can they can hork rocks, sticks, spears, club, boulders, everything, just as far as the longbows. So this could be brutal. As of right now, all of the bowmen and missile troops are out of range. I think we're out about like 1.5 inches over here. So no one's shooting. And yeah, that's it. I think that's turn 1 in the books. So we can go on to turn 2. Restore the mighty deed, the one we spent, and pretty quick, pretty easy. Haven't done anything yet, just have to move forward a couple inches. All right, turn 2. I think it's going to be, we're going to be in absolute horribleness here very quickly. I know the pikemen can move forward too. It moves without even trying because they are drilled. So I'm a little nervous to not have continuity of lines. If you haven't watched his channel, the Medieval Wargamer, Nick, he does a couple of these games. I think he's going to do a whole lot more. The game hasn't been out that long at the time I'm filming this. Stressing keeping your supports in touch with your forces, keeping everything moving in lines. It's basically essential in this game. So I'm gonna follow his advice and try to move start with the Berserkers of Odenheim and see how far they go. Maybe do the Immortals of Shubi at the same time, and then depending on their success, I will move the pikemen, who are automatically going to go 2 moves. So that's my plan right now, just talking out loud. And if you do like this type of warfare in medieval times, in a bit more serious note, yeah, check out Nick's channel. Phenomenal stuff, phenomenal models, phenomenal painting, just great stuff, and you'll learn a lot too about the medieval period. So go for it. This is more of a I'm more of a fantasy spin on medieval, and I have no idea about the real stuff, so I'll leave that to the experts. Okay, stop. Enough of a plug for my boy. We're moving forward here. Entire formation moves forward together. 2 spear throws, and is it Galen? He attaches himself to the southern Kaldani pikemen. Gets kind of dangerous if you're out by yourself. I think you can be targeted then. So he's with and he wants to stay in a centralized location so he can influence the forces on the battlefield. Now we'll do these the Osmanian nomads, the crossbowmen, and the longbowmen, trying to keep pace. So Galen gets his entire contingent to move forward. They're looking beautiful. At the end of all the movement, we will see lots of shooting back and forth here with as the longbows and crossbow bolts go off. Yes, it's gonna be cuckoo. All right, let's move down the line here. We'll go to the center and just moved all the drilled troops first, and then go from there. We'll just have to roll for the provincial knights and for the royal light footmen. They move nicely across the battlefield. Everything's going good. Hero attached himself to the mounted royal foot knights. Good unit to hang out with. They're in the center as well. Now we go on to the right wing with the cavalry and the I'm too cool for you giant. The cavalry is going to move forward 1 move under the command of Infernus, and then they're going to try 2 moves with Grom and see if he ignores them again. Grom must have partied too late last night. He's not feeling it. Just moving forward at his own pace. Doesn't really care what anybody else is doing. Big battle about to happen. He's like, I'll get there at some point. Maybe he's saving himself for the reserves. Okay, that's the end of Eurylian movement. We're going to get some shooting now as everyone just starts blasting away at each other with longbows. Possibly javelins. We'll see. Alright, we'll start on the left, work our way to the right. Eurylian archers, they have a range of 4 spear throws, which is 20 inches. Any unit's killing zone is the width of the unit, and so basically in 1 spear throw in. So it's 5 across, 5 deep in that kill box in front of them. If you're in there, you're really devastating, but if you're in there, you're really going to get killed on the next turn if you're missile troops. But these archers are going to be firing out of their killing zone and overhead. So they basically are going to fire at 25% of their firepower. So 5s and 6s is what you're looking for to hit. And both of these units have marksmanship, so they'll roll 1 extra 1d6 on top of whatever they get down to. So 3d6 is what we're going to be shooting, looking for 5s and 6. Longbowmen engaging these mercenary knights. So 1 hit, but the knights have an armor of 3, so basically that does nothing. So yeah, I think if they hit all 3, they would get 1 hit. So that's how armor works. That's how shooting works. Game, as far as I can tell, is definitely going to be a hand-to-hand brutality type of thing. These crossbowmen will gauge these provincial foot knights the same way, rolling 3 dice. They have an armor of 3, so you don't see 3, 5s, and 6s. We're not going to be hitting anything. Alright, so that's my first combat in Midgard. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but having fun. Alright, so I'm marking them both with a shot thing, because there is a phase at the end of everybody's movement that will, if anyone hasn't shot, they can shoot again. So these guys are done for this turn. I have a strange feeling the same thing is going to happen if I fire these gentlemen. But I think I'm going to take a shot. If you don't shoot, if you don't shoot, it doesn't matter. So that's probably still going to be units in front of them. Let me think about that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and shoot because these guys aren't going to charge. They're going to maintain the hill. So they'll get 2 rounds of shooting probably. Alright, so here we go. We're going to fire the Timordan archers at these pikemen right here. First blast does nothing. Crossbowmen are going to fire at the same unit. They're going to try to wear them out with 3 shots too. Oh, they almost do it. And getting, just 1 hit, you think that's nothing. Most of these units have stamina of 3, so once you get them below, equal to half and below, they're on their way out. It doesn't take much, so even 1 hit is something that will affect the unit. So that's the way it goes. All right, so their shooting's done. I'm gonna mark them both with shooting. All right, on the Timordan right, let's start thinking a little tactically. See if it bites me in the butt later on. Byron is going to order these provincial foot knights and these provincial medium foot to try to move forward, and then kind of pivot, start working that flank a little bit. Alright, they slide out to the right, do a little bit of a wheel move. They're starting to threaten this side. Byron Hammerfast is going to, for better or for worse, is going to attach with the orcs. He will bathe after the battle. The rest of these gentlemen will hold still. Moving to the center, I think these guys are going to edge forward like a move just to get to the edge of the hill and even up with them. And we might get a little bit of pivoty moves here as these gentlemen use their drilled to support them, and then we'll have to roll for light infantry to pivot and keep in touch. Alright, he is maintaining the hill. He has attached himself. This is Hugh de Slaughter. He's attached himself to his Royal Foot Knights. Now we're going to get a roll for these gentlemen to move forward, one move, and then kind of pivot and maybe expose their own. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move forward and kind of pivot out to the left to protect their flank from those footmen there. He's going to spend a mighty deed and try to do that again. And spend another one. We're still, this might be the last turn before mighty deeds become a whole lot more important. Alright, and he gets his left kind of protected a little bit by those light infantry. They're just out of spear throw range. If they would have rotated right, they probably could have thrown into the Immortals of Shubia. But then they would have got destroyed on their flank attack, which I think is pretty devastating in this game. You can get into someone's flank, it's yeah, I think it's gonna be bad, but we'll see. I'm still learning. All right, now, oof, I think we'll do the one move forward over here for all these guys. Very proud of myself. Little gamesmanship there. These light infantry have horse bows with a range of 3 spear throws. They are 15 inches from these gentlemen here, these provincial mounted knights. These provincial light cavalry are 16 inches from them, so they cannot fire back. So we'll get a unimpeded, out of the killing zone shot. Now, they have a shoot value of 4. They're out of their killing zone, so it drops to 2. They get 1 back because they are marksmen. These gentlemen have an armor of 3, I believe. Let me double check. Oh, and all the gamesmanship is for nothing. They have an armor of 4. They also did have the leader attached to them, so they can't even if they hit everything, they can't do any stamina impact because you just can't hit 4 by shooting 3. So sorry about that. Not worth shooting as far as I'm concerned, and hope I did that right. And that ends turn 2. Moving along. Had some missile combat. Looking like it's about to be absolutely savage down there in the center and the right. Still, it looks beautiful, I'll tell you that. Alright, we'll see you in turn 3 where the body count will get significantly worse. I got a bad feeling. Sorry, guys. Alright, time for turn 3. I've picked up all of the shot markers. I've redistributed the mighty deeds. I think I'm doing things right. Alright, let's get into Aurelian. Let's movement and orders and all that fun stuff. Alright, Galen Shatter Sword. Going to attack across the entire front here. I think we're in one move, but let me measure it real quick. And yeah, he's attacking. And I think he's going to join up with the Berserkers of Odenheim at the end and lead the first charge to get the extra points. Halfway, so they'll have to make the second one. They do have brutal, relentless, and impetuous. So once they get into combat, it's going to be nuts. They are charging a mercenary knight unit that is uphill from them. Galen Shattersword leads the Berserkers of Odenheim into the first charge of the game, so he will pick up 2 reputation coins for his side because his first charge with a hero, and it's also a hero leading a unit into combat. So at least he's going out with a bang, not a whimper. Alright, these pikemen will go in because they're drilled, so they will go into these 2 units across from them, and at least that'll start off that. Then we'll have to roll for the Immortals of Shubia to attack these gentlemen who have the army general for the other side attached to them, so it should be a heck of a good fight. The Immortals are over 1 spear length away from those foot knights. They're over 2 spear throws away from Galen, so he can't command them. But over here, Mordrith has moved up and attached to these royal footmen, and he's got the army commander trait, so he is within 2 spear throws of these gentlemen. So there is a reroll if they boot it, but the Immortals don't know how to spell boot it. Oh, they learned how to spell and they do punt. All right, so Mordrith is going to burn a mighty deed and order them to go again. All right, now the last of Galen's troops are going to roll all at once to see if they're going to go forward 2 to keep pace. Let me see what let me check what the supporting range is, because maybe we don't have to. So you have to be within half a spear throw to support. So let's see if these guys, when they move forward 5 inches, if they're within 3 of the units ahead of them. Or if they move one spear throw, those guys kind of pivot to cover the flank of the Berserkers of Odenheim, and yeah, they're within half a spear throw. So now the big question for myself is, if you engage in melee or missile combat, can you support? And now the other question is, they have that shooting phase at the end. If you support and don't shoot, can you shoot in that turn? So let me check it out real quick. All right, here's the fun one. I don't know what the correct rule is. Supports can't have fought, and if you're charging, you can throw javelins, but you can't shoot missiles unless you're being charged. That's what it kind of says. I'm not sure if shooting missiles from a supporting role negates the fact you're basically can support. I don't know. And then could you shoot something that is already in hand to hand, so that without hitting your opponent? So maybe that's the gist of it all. So I possibly the other sides could charge, but I think it's only the unit being charged could shoot their missiles off. So no, I'm going to say these archers and crossbowmen cannot fire into that clash there. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. So yeah, that's what we got. Wish it was different. I don't see why in the shooting phase later on that some of these guys couldn't launch, but I don't know, since they're all supporting, it's kind of a mess. So we'll see. All right, for Mordrith Deathbringer, he will lead a charge of this unit that's drilled into those light infantry there, and I believe those guys will throw their javelins as these guys come in, so they'll add to their combat dice. But should be fun. We'll get an extra point of reputation as he slams into those guys. The drilled units in his command move forward and maintain their formation. These light infantry will going to go for 2 moves to try to move up and support the Immortals of Shubia, and then these gentlemen are going to try to do. Oh, they're out of command. They'll try to do 2 moves, but then they won't be able to use a a mighty deed if they don't make it. So I'm going to roll these both at the same time. Ooh, thankfully it was the light infantry that failed. Mordrith has 2 mighty deeds left right now. He's going to go ahead and spend 1, which could be a catastrophic error, and try to re-roll those light infantry to get them up to support the Immortals of Shubia. Are going to need it against those knights. Alright, we'll have to wait and see if I just made a massive tactical error, taking Mordrith down to 1 mighty deed left. The provincial foot knights passed their order, and their leader check, and they also they moved 2 moves, and they're up there supporting to the right. So looking beautiful at a cost. And now to round things up, we've got Michael and Furnace with the cavalry. Probably going to turn it loose here and see if we can do a charge. And then, you know, let's see, homeboy is going to continue to ignore all kinds of pleas to get into combat faster. So first up, a double order. Cavalry moving forward. Michael and Furnace will join the Royal Knights and slam into those gentlemen in the center, taking on the enemy hero. He is going to use a mighty deed to try to get the provincial heavy knights to join him in the combat. Alright, he's joined the Royal Knights. They charge in against the provincial knights from Timordia. His light riders moved in behind these gentlemen to support him. His provincial heavy knights rode in against the light infantry or light riders from Timordia. I believe these guys have an evade move, so I gotta get rid of that shot marker. I didn't do that, so they will probably bail, at least try to make an attempt to. But first off, we'll see if the hill giant can make two moves, or he just wants to continue to go nice and slow. He just continues at his own pace, not really too concerned with the little worms that are around him in combat. Alright, let's see what this evade move does. Alright, technically this should have happened before I moved, so there might be some minor adjustments when I get back. They have to pass an order to see if they can evade, and they'll make one move away. Alright, slight adjustments. They evade successfully, so they drop back. Since that happened beforehand, I kind of went back and redid the movement. Michael and Furnace led the Royal Knights into these Royal Knights, and they're going to go hand to hand. And over here we've got these provincial knights have hit the Royal Knights with the Timordan general, or leader, sorry, our hero. And I get my terminology right here. And then the light infantry are supporting the provincial against the hero and the similar provincial knights. So I don't know, we'll see. Should be fun. I don't think those guys are within half the spirit there anyway, but I'm not even sure if infantry can. I guess infantry can support cavalry. We'll find out. All I know is this hill giant is not interested in being in any kind of combat yet. He's going to come in and hopefully there'll be something left to fight, or he'll be saving himself for the next battle. But we've got combat all across the line here. Should be nuts. And wow, let's get to it. Michael and Furnace does lead this charge into combat though with the Royal Knights against the Royal Knights, so he will gain another point of reputation for the Eurilians. Alright, we'll start off with this first melee combat over here. Oh boy, I'm glad I'm going to pause between me reading rules and thinking out loud on a lot of these things, because this might take a minute. So we've got the Berserkers of Odenheim attacking mercenary knights who are supported by warriors with missiles, which are those crossbowmen, plus the orcs are close enough to support as well. They've got the hill to support, which counts for 2 as well, and the berserkers are supported by these gentlemen here, who are warriors with missile weapons, so they'll get that. Plus we've got a leader in here, and yeah, so I'll see you probably in 20 minutes. I'm just kidding. Alright, we'll see what happens. This should be fun. Alright, Galen's a level 3 hero. He has Battle Smiter. So, but that doesn't do a dang thing unless it's in single combat. So that'd have been good to know before I picked it. But it's okay, we're learning. And yeah. The Eurilians are charging, so they will get a +1. Oh, sorry, they will get to re-roll all their 1s. The Berserkers of Odenheim, I believe, had the brutal trait, so they will hit on 4, 5s, and 6s instead of 5s and 6s. Alright, Galen's going to throw in just 1 mighty deed to get 1 extra attack. So he'll be hitting with 4. And then the Berserkers are rolling 12 dice. So we're going to be rolling 16 for the Aurelians. We are looking for 4, 5s, and 6s with this epic slaughter. Let's see how it goes. Alright, they hit 9 times, which is pretty awesome, I think. I think the big thing for the Timordans is going to be their saves, how many they can get rid of. Because they're going to have, I think, 6 with 2 warrior units plus the hill to try to negate some of these hits. But for the time being, they are hitting back with 12 dice. Alright, 2 quick housekeeping things. First of all, the Mercenary Knights did not do well. Only got 2 hits. They do have Spears of Tribute, so they will roll 2 more dice. Also, the Berserkers of Odenheim rolled 1-1, since they are attacking, or winning, whatever you want to call it, or I guess those terms are synonymous. They get to re-roll that 1, so I'm going to roll 3 dice here. So that just goes from bad to worse for these Mercenary Knights, as they can't contact with their Spirit of Tribute roll, and the Berserkers turn their 1 into another hit. Oh, all right, now 6 supports for the Timordans. I think they have to roll, I think it's 5 or 6s to eradicate hits. I'm learning so much as I read through the rules here. The Berserkers also had 1 extra roll because they're impetuous and they're charging, and they're at full stamina, so they'll roll 1 more dice. And then we'll get, I think, 6 saves, and they need 5s or 6s to see how many hits they can take away from the Aurelians. So of all those saves, they take away 1 hit, but because of the impetuous dice roll, they got 1 extra hit, so they just take that away. So 10 hits are going to go through onto the Mercenary Knights. Now the Osmanian Nomads get 2 D6 saves to try to stop some hits from hitting the Berserkers. They are unsuccessful. So let's check the armor for both these units. I don't even think the 2 hits are going to get through the armor of the Berserkers. I do know 10 hits is going to get through the Knights. Alright, none of the Knights are able to get any hits through the armor of 4 of the Berserkers. The Knights have an armor of 4 as well. With 10 hits, they get 2 stamina loss. Oh boy. They have a stamina of 4, so they're still here. But now we get chances of pushback and all kinds of good things. Alright, that's where this game gets nuts, I'm thinking. Alright, these guys lost. They fall back half a spear throw. They bounce into these guys. These guys have like a command test to see if they take 1 stamina damage. We'll do that in a minute. These gentlemen normally would have the option to follow up, but they don't because they're impetuous. So they basically move forward, recontact, pick up the winning token for the next combat. And yeah, so I think that's where we're at. And you can see where this automatically causes trouble. I have to check to see if supports can move with them. They're not impetuous. That's one thing. I'm debating about not even moving because I don't know. We'll take a look at it, but I'm not sure if supports have to move with the unit as well, or have they have an option. Oh, what a mess! And you can see now these guys, because they're impetuous, they're basically lost the continuity of lines. It's a bit of a mess. I definitely think I have to move up to stay in support, but then that opens up the whole flank and everything. So that could be absolutely a total screw up. We'll find out. But let's start off with a command roll to see if these guys take a stamina loss. Alright, the crossbowmen do not take an extra stamina loss. They move back in good order. Now, if they had the trait steadfast, like these knights do, if someone retreated, then they would just automatically not take a casualty, or even have to take that roll. Alright, the Osmanian Nomads slightly realign. They move forward half a spear throw, stay in contact to support the Berserkers of Odenheim. The nice thing is, yeah, it looked like they would really give up their flank, but you have to be completely... Every one of your units is to behind the line here, which these guys are not. And you can't, like, move forward a little bit and then charge into them. You'll basically be considered attacking in the front. So at least they won't get that unless they want to continue to move out here. So, yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But this is going to get horrific. That's only combat number 1. Now we go on to pikemen and archers attacking more mercenary knights with archers supporting them. Alright, this should be a little bit simpler combat, at least for my brain. Southern Kaldani pikemen. Pikemen don't really do... The pike bonus doesn't do a lot unless you're being attacked by cavalry or by large creatures or flying creatures, so nothing on this one. They have 12 dice. They are attacking, so they get to reroll 1s, and then the knights are going to attack back with 12 as well. Everyone's hitting on 5s and 6s. No brutals on this one. Alright, the pikemen score 4 hits. They have 3 1s to reroll. Alright, the mercenary knights have spears of tribute. They will attack, needing 5s and 6s. Alright, we're all tied up. Now for supports, the mercenary knights get 2 from the hill and 2 from the warriors with missile weapons, or formed warriors with missile weapons. That's the bowmen back here. So they will get 4, looking for 5s and 6s to block some hits from the pikemen. Alright, the supports take away a hit. Now the archers will support with just 2 dice, trying to take away something from the mercenary knights. Alright, 4 hits each. Let's go see what that does. Alright, the mercenary knights had an armor of 4, the pikemen had an armor of 3. With them both taking 4 hits as a draw in combat, they both take 1 stamina loss, and they stay locked in combat for next turn. Alright, now we get another round of pikemen versus... this time they're against provincial foot knights, very similar to the mercenary knights. They both have spears of tribute. They'll have a little bit of advantage, but the pikemen will be charging, so they'll be rolling 12 dice, re-rolling 1s. Southern Kaldani pikemen replicate what their brothers from the north do. They get 4 hits with 3 1s to reroll. Alright, the knights attacking back with spears of tribute will get 14 dice. With the pikemen unable to convert any of their 1s, they both end up with 4 hits. Now we'll get 4 supports, 2 from these rural footmen and 2 from the hill. They get 1, which is awesome. That means they will not take a stamina loss because they have an armor of 4. Pikemen trying to do 2 saves from the crossbowmen, trying to eliminate one of these. They need to get rid of 2 so not take a stamina loss. And here comes the seesaw. Pikemen will lose. They'll be pushed back. They're going to bump into the crossbowmen and push them back. Crossbowmen need to make a pass that order to avoid taking a stamina point. The pikemen take 1 stamina loss. They fall back 3 inches. The crossbowmen do not take any losses. They fall back with them. These foot knights are going to hold the line. They're going to try to keep continuity. I think that's important. I'll find out later if that's a good idea. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm learning, baby. All right, and we'll move on to the Immortals of Shubia. I'm like in a sweat now. This is like amazing. All right, this is why you pay big bucks. Here come the Immortals of Shubia. They are impetuous, brutal, relentless, and they have spears of tribute. Yeah, so they're going to be absolutely insane. They're going against Royal Foot Knights, though, who aren't too bad. Nice thing is the Warriors, Royal Spearmen were backing them up, have steadfast, so just in case they lose, it won't be horrific. There is a hero in this battle, though. That's the big deal. This is going to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It's not any old hero either. It's Hugh de Slaughter with his legendary weapon. He's going to chuck that in, going to throw in an extra heroic, whatever, mighty deed for another dice. So this could get, I might run out of dice here really quick. We'll start off with the Immortals. They're going to get 12 dice. They're going to get 2 extras, so they're just going to get 14 because they have Spears of Tribute. They'll get an extra one because they're, I think, Relentless. They get another one, right? Oh, whatever it's called. No, they get an extra one because they're Impetuous. I don't even know what Relentless does. I don't think they ever take like morale checks or something. They just don't even care if they live or die. So they're going to be rolling 15 dice, hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s, re-rolling 1s. Ouch. Alright, those psychopaths get 8 hits. They get 1, 1. They're going to re-roll that now. Alright, the Roll Knights are going to get 12 attacks, plus 2 for being Spears of Tribute. Hugh de Slaughter is a level 3 leader. He gets 3 extra dice. He throws in a Mighty Deed for 4, so we're at so that's 18. Let me do my math again. That's correct. And then he gets 1 giant green dice that'll be the legendary weapon. His legendary weapon is known as Blood Cleaver. If it hits, it automatically takes a point of stamina off the Immortals all by itself. Hugh is unable to connect with Blood Cleaver. Immortals would have loved to have been cut in half by that thing. That's their high point of their day, getting cut in half. So no, they're still there. Right now, the Immortals are winning by 1 point, 1 point of damage. But now we've got what they call support saves. These Timordans will get 4. 2 from these warriors and 2 from the hill. They are able to block one of those. Now we got 1 support from these light infantry trying to help the Immortals out. Light infantry coming through like a boss with 2 saves. The Immortals are going to win this hand-to-hand with, is it 7 or 8? 7 hits versus 5 for Hugh de Slaughter. Alright, the Knights get pushed back. The Immortals really didn't have a choice. Between Impetuous and Relentless, they had to come forward. The Knights had better armor at 4. Immortals only have an armor of 3, but they both lose 1 stamina point. We have a slight chance of hitting Hugh de Slaughter. I'm going to check that just because he was in the combat, and there was 1 stamina point taken. And these gentlemen don't have to take a save because they have steadfast. So, confusing, but hopefully done correctly. Oh, and the light infantry stayed in contact and moved forward as we start getting this massive intermixing of lines here. What a mess. As the Berserkers and the Immortals both exploiting breakthroughs. Alright, we just have to roll a 1d6, and on a 1, Hugh de Slaughter would take a stamina loss, but he does have 2 mighty deeds left if he needs them. Alright, he is unaffected by that combat. Alright, now, we've got, oh boy, we've got another leader leading in a unit of Royal Footmen against light infantry, but who are on a hill. Yeah. Alright, these light footmen have javelins, which they will throw at these royal footmen as they come in. They throw half of their dice on top of the rest of their stuff. So this could be kind of fun. Mordrith is not going to add any mighty deeds to this. He's going to keep 1. because he still has to survive another, the Time Warden turn, which they could attack him. He wants to keep at least one Mighty Deed to make sure he survives, but he will use his legendary Maul, his Hammer of Doom, Deathbringer, and try to crush some heads. I marked those guys with the shot token, so yeah, that's good enough for that. That'll take care of that for later. So these gentlemen will attack with 12 dice, plus 3 for Mordrith, and the extra legendary weapon die. Mordrith misses with Deathbringer. Nobody wants to hit with their legendary weapon. That's okay. It's a long game, maybe. I don't know what the heck's going on. They did get 2 1s. They start off with, I think, 5 hits, so let's see if they can convert these. Alright, they convert 2 more of those. That was a great conversion there. And now these guys will attack back with 13 dice. That includes their javelins getting thrown at the knights at the footmen as they come in. Alright, they get 4 hits and they had 1 dice fly out of the dice tray somehow, so I'm going to re-roll that one. Alright, the light infantry just have support of the hill, so that gives them 2. So that gets them down to 6 hits from the other side. These guys have 2 supports, so they're going to get 4 chances to take away hits from the light infantry. Alright, the Aurelian Royal Footmen have an armor of 3, so they'll take 1 stamina. There's a chance that Homeboy gets hit. We'll see if he gets hit. These guys only have an armor of 2. They take 3 stamina. They have a total stamina of 4, so they have to take a command test after they're pushed back to see if they break and run. Alright, see if these guys are able to keep it together or if they shatter. Alright, let's see if Mordrith gets hit in that melee. He does not. So everybody stays. These guys are going to advance and maintain contact and take the winning tab and bring all their supports with them. Wow, what a nightmare. Alright, so they push up, keep pace with the Immortals of Shubia. We've got the two army generals looking at each other. They're both in joining combats, but they are right near each other. I'll have to debate doing a single combat. That'd be kind of fun next time, but we'll see. That'll be more fun when I'm playing an opponent. All right. Wow. Moving on down the line. All right, heavy cavalry on heavy cavalry. I'm trying to see if these guys are on a hill or not. I feel like the Timordan Knights are almost on flat ground. They moved off the hill. And, oh well, that's what they do. But they are against the Army General. So it's going to be, let's see what happens. Sorry, that's not the Army in General. It's a hero. It's Michael Infernus, level 3 hero. He is attached to the Aurelian Royal Knights. Both of these heavy rider units have Thunderous Charge and Counter Charge. So the Timordan Knights are going to attempt to pass in order, or check. If they pass it, they also get to charge as well. And they will also get to reroll all their 1s. Oh, they can't do it. What a shame. Alright, so these guys will be... they have Thunderous Charge, 12 attacks, hitting on 4, 5, and 6. Michael Infernus has the Brutal command, so his 3 attacks will all be hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s. So we're going to get 15 hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s, re-rolling 1s, because they're charging. Aurelians, 9 hits, re-rolling 2 1s. Let's see how bad this goes. Alright, Timordan Knights, attacking back, needing 5s and 6s, 12 attacks. They get 2. Nobody has any supports because they're both on flat ground. So this is just an absolute butt kicking. I think they got armor 4. Let me double check. The Mounted Knights have Fearsome. They push them back a full spear throw. These guys could only advance half a spear throw to re-engage, so there's no point doing that. So these guys get away on top of the hill. They have 2 stamina loss. The Eurilians don't take any casualties, and we go on to the last combat, which is these provincial knights fighting the Eurilian provincial knights, but they both have support of 1. Except the Timordans have William Dugor with them, who is got the brutal roll, so his 3 attacks. He's going to throw in an extra mighty deed, so he's going to throw in 4 attacks, all hitting on 4s. Both groups of these knights have thunderous charge and countercharge, so once again the Timordans are going to try to pass an order to countercharge. Alright, successful countercharge. Everyone's going to be rolling 1s. The Eurilians will be hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s because they are with the thunderous charge and they're charging. Now that I'm thinking about that, is that another +1? Because I already get... No, it's reroll. Oh, it's right. If you're charging, reroll 1s. My fault. I was a little bit messed up there. Not sure if you have brutal and thunderous charge in one thing. Do you roll 3, 4, 5, 6? Question for another day? I'm not sure. Alright, no 1s, but they get 8 hits, which is pretty awesome. These guys are going to attack back with 16. The white dice are going to be William Dugor's, hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s. 2 1s. 1 is from the hero, so he's going to get a 4, 5, or 6 on his reroll. Alright, the Timordans, they score 5 hits. The Eurilians score 8. Eurilians have supports while the Timordans do not, so 2 support saving throws. Eurilians will take 1 casualty, pick up the winning tab. They're probably not going to keep that. I'll take that away. They have Fearsome, so these guys are going to get knocked back a full spear throw. I don't think they're going to quite reach these gentlemen. And then we'll have a risk to hero. Eurilians will hold their ground where they are. No point having the winning tab because the battle is over. And we will roll a 1d6 and looking for a 1 basically to see if William Dugor is injured. Holy smokes, and that's only halfway through the turn. Alright, Timordans time. Here we go, baby. Alright, starting on the left, these gentlemen will move 1 spear throw and engage the Osmanian nomads. These are provincial heavy footmen. They're within range. They'll be attacking the front. These gentlemen will move with them. The big thing is that'll take away the supports from the Berserkers of Odenheim. We'll have to face all that disaster, even though they won. That'll be the first move. Alright, because they were in the front arc, they just basically align with the front of the Osmanian nomads. And they moved up there to support them. Okay, that's number 1. These guys are still fighting. They'll stay there. These guys are fighting. They'll stay there. These guys are going to go stationary and lend support. One, probably both directions, to try to win these 2 fights against these pikemen and against the Immortals of Shubia. Oof. What do I do with these guys? Well, they're in a fight already, so they have to fight it out, don't they? They're hosed. I'm going to try to order the Hill Giant forward 2 moves to try to engage these Royal Spearmen. That would pull off the support off this. Alright, Ulak goes in hard against the Royal Footmen. Oh yeah, baby, that should be fun. And then these cavalry, they're just going to hold off. They're not going to move. These archers, these light guys are going to try to fire arrows down, but That might not even affect anybody just because it's not in their killing zone, but we'll see. They might shoot anyway. All right, we'll start off over here with the provincial heavy footmen going in against the Osmanian nomads. They might have evades. They might split. And once again, that's something I should have announced before they moved. Ugh, I suck. I'm so sorry. They have evade and agile. That means agile means like they can fight in broken terrain without paying a penalty. I don't really see a benefit of running away. I do see a bunch of negatives for staying there. I don't want to leave them out to dry, and I feel like I forgot to do it, so we're going to fight it out. They do have the marksmen. They do have javelins, so they're going to chuck those in with their hand-to-hand, but here we go. Plus, the footmen are kind of uphill, so they're going to get an extra support with these guys as well. Footmen are going to get 12 attacks, hitting on 5s and 6s, re-rolling 1s. They get 5 hits. They got 2 1s. They're going to roll both of those. Alright, they'll stick with 5 hits. Let me see how many attacks the Osmanians get. Plus they get whatever their missile value is, they get half of that. They get 9 dice plus an extra 1 for marksmen. They'll be attacking with 10 dice. Ugh, they only get 2 hits. Not so good. Alright, Timordans will get 2 rolls of saves because of this 1 unit. They hit a home run. Osmanians make 0 hits against these guys. They take 5 hits. I think they have an armor of 2, so they'll take 2 stamina. They'll get pushed back. These gentlemen will pursue them and keep the winning tab on them. Now we've got a mess. We've got Timordans behind Eurilian berserkers driving back the Osmanians into the flanks. Basically, they've taken them on the far left of the Eurilians' flank has collapsed. That's not good. All right, baby. That's combat number 1. Now we go on to the berserkers who no longer have supports. And I gotta see if I think they're still attacking uphill too. Galen is in the middle of this. He's going to save his 2 mighty deeds because he's up Poop Creek without a paddle here. He's kind of surrounded, but at least he's with the berserkers, and they're going to be swinging for the fences against what's left of these mercenary knights. But they have all kinds of supports. Berserkers will be throwing 13 dice, hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s because they're brutal. They got 1 extra 1 because they're like impetuous, I think it is. I can't remember. I think that's what it is. And they'll get 3 extra dice from their hero, but he'll be hitting on 5s and 6s, rerolling 1s as well. Berserkers continue their winning ways with 10 hits, rerolling 1-1. The Mercenary Knights will have 3 supports, including the hill. They're going to attack. They have Spears of Tribute with 1 stamina loss. They still have that. Ooh, let me check. I can't remember if you lose it with 1 stamina or you lose half. You know, if you've lost 1 stamina point, you no longer get Spears of Tribute. So they'll get 12, hitting on 5s and 6s. They do pretty good with 6 hits. Now they'll get their 3 supports, trying to, well, they'll get 6 dice, 2 dice for each support. Trying to block some of these hits from the, I'm looking at the wrong dang units. Trying to block some of these hits from the Berserkers of Odenheim. Well, those saves, support saves do keep the unit from being destroyed immediately, which is good. We think. They'd still lose by 1. They're going to get pushed back. These guys have 1 stamina left. So they got to take a command test to see if they flee the battlefield. These guys get pushed back as well.
they'll take a command test to see if they take a stamina loss, and then the Berserkers of Odenheim will win and move forward because they have to. Alright, so the orcs get pushed back. These guys get pushed back. They get pushed back. This hero hasn't done a dang thing yet. He's got to get involved. I forgot to move him last turn. He probably should have gotten to the combat better, but maybe he's saving himself for Christmas. Who knows? Berserkers move forward, keep the winning tag, got their one casualty, and that's... wow. What a nightmare. Alright, move over to this combat where we get the... These guys they drew last time, so I guess they'll be even. The mercenary knights are uphill attacking the pikemen, and we've got all kinds of supports here. They're involved, they're involved, they're involved. I guess they'll save themselves for this. So they'll have 2, but they will have 2 as well. So pretty even match here. Timordans will end up with 1 extra group of save throws because of the hill. That's about it. They'll be attacking with 12 dice. They lost their Spears of Tribute. Yep, no extra dice there. They took a casualty, so here we go. 12 dice. They score 5 hits on the Kaldani pikemen. Pikemen are attacking back. 12 attacks, hitting on 5s and 6s. Pikemen are only able to score 4 hits on these mercenary knights. Now we get all the saves. Yeah, this where it gets stupid. We get 2 from the archers, 2 from the provincial knights there, and then 2 from the hill, so 6 total. That was clutch because they got it below their armor, so they take care of 1 hit, which is great. The Aurelians will get 4 saving throws from supports. Oh, they can't save anything, so they'll be pushed back. I've got to debate if I want to pursue them or not. I probably will, just for fun. And I think I forgot to see if this gentleman was wounded in that hand-to-hand. I roll 1d6 on a 1, he's hit. Alright, he escapes unscathed. Alright, we're going to move back these gentlemen and added 1 more casualty to the pikemen, taking them up to 2. And now we've just got a big old mess on our hands. They got pushed back, they moved back. Both of these units are going to have to take a command test to see if they take 1 stamina damage. They pursued, they brought their supports with them off the hill. Now we've just got a mix of, got berserkers up here, you're getting driven back here, they're getting driven back, you've got guys up here. It's just going all over the place, and yeah, what a mess. Here come those 2 pushback saves. I have been rolling like a boss on these pushbacks. That's crazy. And I think when you get down to 1 stamina too, like a couple, you roll half your attack dice. So that's a bad news right there. All right, now we've got Hugh de Slaughter attacking the Immortals of Shubia after he lost with his knights. And he's got 2 supports at least against them, and they have 1 support. The Immortals have lost their Spears of Tribute because they took 1 casualty, or 1 stamina damage, excuse me. So that'll help the knights. And yeah, that's about it. But they're going to get 13 attacks with their brutal, and they're winning. So yeah. The Immortals score 8 hits, and 1-1. They're going to reroll right now. 9 hits. Hugh de Slaughter is going to save his mighty deeds in case he might need them. As the Immortals start chewing into his Royal Knights, they're going to attack back with 12 dice, plus his 3, plus his legendary weapon. What's it called again? Oh gosh, like blood cleaver. Alright, here we go. Hitting on 5s and 6s. And a legendary weapon in play. They get 6 hits plus Blood Cleaver chops one of the immortals into little teeny pieces. Oh, instant stamina reduction. Alright, now the Aurelian light infantry adding 2 saves to these guys, trying to keep them going. Alright, they're able to knock 1 off. These guys, they've got the hill plus 2 supports, so 6 dice. What an absolute massacre. Alright, so the Immortals are going to win, but I don't know what's going to be left. Because, yow, this is going to hurt. Alright, these guys take 2 stamina. They're down to 1. They'll have to take a break test. These guys got pushed back, but they have that steadfast rule where they don't have to take a break, so they just move back. Immortals take 2 casualties thanks to the legendary weapon. So they are up. They have 1 stamina left. They have the relentless rule, so I got to check on that. Right now they've moved up, and the light infantry moved up with them as well. All right, the relentless unit does not have to take a command check when they're reduced to 1, so they're fine. The knights have to take 1, and then we've got a 1d6 chance that Hugh de Slaughter is hit in that combat because they his Royal Knights took 2 points of damage. That's just too much for the Royal Foot Knights. They break and run. They're destroyed by the Immortals for sure. They're chewing on their comrades that fell on the ground. It's just too much psychological damage. Hugh de Slaughter is left standing alone since he was attached to them as they flee around him, and he's just waiting for the Immortals. He's going to take them on in single combat. It's too bad it's not his turn next. Oh no, he's going to have to do it or run. The Royal Foot Knights had a reputation of 2, so that's 2 coins coming out of the bag for the Timordans. The last hand-to-hand of the turn should be a good one as Ulak gets in there to crush some heads. He charges in against the Royal Spearmen. Ulak has 10 attacks. He's brutal, he's aloof, he's fearsome, he's impetuous, he's got steadfast, and he's towering, and he has bad breath. Let's see what he can do. This should get Grom fired up now, seeing Ulak just absolutely crushing some guys with his club. So Ulak's going to roll, 10 dice because he's got 10. He's going to roll an extra 1 because he's impetuous, and 2 more because he's towering. 13 dice, hitting on 4 5s and 6s because he's brutal, re-rolling 1s because he's charging. I feel like he's got too many benefits. Ah! Ulak came in there way too cocky, gets 3 hits, but he did get 3 1s. Alright, the heavy foot attacking back with 12 dice, hitting on 5s and 6s. So they both kind of choke. They get 4 hits as well. Let's check what the armor is. They both take 1 point of damage, and it's a draw. They'll fight again on the next turn. That was Ulak let the side down there, and trying to be tactically doing that. So now we've just got the last fight here. Oh, it's Big Daddy with his lethal weapon. He's gonna kill somebody. These guys have already shot. Was it a draw? I think they're losing. It might have been a draw. I can't remember, but it looks like it was a draw because they're sitting right there. Okay. Oh, it couldn't have been. They have 3 casualties. I just forgot to put out the loss thing. I'm 99% sure. So, yeah, that's sorry about your luck. So the Aurelians will be winning, and we'll just go from there. Mordrith is feeling confident. He's going to bring. He's going to use his last mighty deed. He is gonna, he's got Deathbringer with him. He's gonna try to crush these guys into oblivion. And Mordrith is brutal, so his 4 attacks will be on 4, 5s, and 6s. Plus his what's it called? His superior weapon, or weapon of what's it called? Legendary weapon. His hammer of just absolute destruction. On top of everything, the light infantry are down to 1 stamina, so we're rolling half their dice, which that's not going to help at all. Six hits plus Deathbringer hits the mark, just annihilating somebody into the ground. 4 1s, rerolling those. 8 hits total. Ouch. Light footmen usually attack with 10. They go to 5 because they've got 1 stamina left. They've already shot this turn, so they can't throw any more javelins. So just 5 dice hitting on 5s and 6s. They score 1 hit, which is not good. The Aurelians will get 1 support for those Royal Knights behind them, and the light infantry will get 1 support from being uphill. Quite possibly the worst support rolls ever rolled in the history of mankind. Alright, the light infantry do not affect no damage because the footmen have an armor of 3, so no damage to them. The light footmen are destroyed. Ouch. Timordans have 2 more reputation tokens coming out of the bag. They're down to 9 reputation now. And that is the end of turn 3. What a nightmare. As the Berserkers of Odenheim have established their own front by themselves, attacking the entire right side of the Timordan line. Timordans moving into the flank and are pushing back in the right center here, just kind of completely ignoring the Berserkers as they slam the Aurelians back on their left side. Immortals of Shubia holding on by a thread, just destroying everything in their wake. And then we've got just a nightmare as we've got giants in the battle over here. We've got units being destroyed, and basically the Aurelian cavalry is winning the day against the Timordans, and then Grom just tardy to everything. Just doesn't care at all. Probably wasn't raised right. No respect. Maybe he'll get in the fight. I hope he does. But that was a heck of a turn. It took a while. I'm glad I edited out a lot of stuff, or just paused the camera a lot. Tried to show some stuff so people could learn. This is the first game of this system on my channel, but wow. Brutal, fun, cool. I like it. All right, on to turn 4.
All right, all the mighty deeds have been returned. All the shot markers, I think, are gone. They still might be there. Don't sue me, baby. And we're ready to start turn 4. We'll start off on the far left, and we'll go from there. We're just going to hope that Grom actually makes it to the battle. Alright, Galen's got some issues on the left flank. He's going to try to shift around his longbowmen and his crossbowmen to try to maximize support, while he goes ahead and drives on the Timordan capital all by his lonesome with the Berserkers. The longbowmen failed their second move, but they were able to shift slightly out of the way. I wanted to get them way out here somewhere, but so they were able to back up the Osmanians. Crossbowmen had 2 moves. They were able to shift into that hole. I wanted to kind of end them up over here, but we've kind of shifted things around a little bit. Not sure if it's going to help, but we shall see. I'm still curious about the whole shooting and supporting thing. I don't know. Hugh is going to try to attack, move forward with these 2 units, and then bring those 2 units up. These guys are drilled, so they'll be able to move. Those 2 gentlemen will have to roll back there.
those two gentlemen pass, they'll be able to move. I forgot that in the drilled command, once you lose one stamina, you need to roll one die anyway to move forward. So they'll automatically pass that. They'll need to make a second command check to see if they can move forward one more.
Oh, he's going to be mad. He'll have to burn a mighty deed to keep this plan going.
So after some wheeling and dealing and negotiating, the Royal Heavy Footmen attacked the enemy general. All by his lonesome, not attached to anybody right now. They brought the Royal Knights with them. These Provincial Knights moved to back up the Royal Heavy Spear, and these Provincial Medium Footmen moved also in to support their attack against Ulak. So we've got some good things going on. I think I'm going to try one move here with these gentlemen and try to shift them out into here. That unit of light infantry has had no casualties, so they could move out there automatically one move. They're within 5 inches of these gentlemen. They'll be able to throw javelins at them. The Immortals are taking a turn off because they deserve it. Move into a supporting role. And now we go over to here. Ooh. I gotta figure out who I'm gonna hit. Alright, Michael and Furnace is going to join this command. They're going to hit these gentlemen. These two are going to move into support. And Grom is going to try to lumber forward with 2 commands. Everything else will be... well, they have 1 stamina, so they all have to pass a check. No, they're just doing 1... sorry. Yeah, they do. They're not drilled. Sorry about that. Sorry about the confusion there. These Provincial Royal Knights, or Provincial Knights, excuse me, have 1 stamina, so they'll have to make a check. These guys will only make 1 move. They will only make 1 move. I don't think he has to check anywhere, and he has to check for 2 moves just because he's him. Alright, so we got hero charging hero over here. 2 other cavalry units supporting him. Ulak actually got his act together. Finally got the motivation. Probably saw him screw up. Saw Grom screwing up, so he wants to get in there and fight. And we've got moving and shaking all across the battlefield. All right, I think we have at least the light infantry can fire javelins in here. We'll get some of that throwing stuff going on. I'm gonna check what other missile combat I can get going on. So Ulak was able to get within 3. Oh, sorry, Grom was able to get within 3 spear throws of the Royal Timordan Mounted Knights. So he's going to throw one of his massive spears that's probably the size of a telephone pole. They don't know what a telephone pole is, but he's going to throw it anyway. And he gets out of his killing zone. He usually has 5 attacks, so it goes down to 3. I think you round up in this game. I'm wrong. I've been doing it wrong the whole time, so I'm going to stay consistent. Yeah, so he'll get 3 dice on guys with armor of 4. So we'll just do it for fun, but it's really not going to have any effect. Hitting on 5s and 6s. Just letting him know he's coming for him. Marking his territory. He whips a huge spear at those mounted knights, which has no impact at all. Probably just skids on the ground and stops in front of him. So they're probably accomplished less than he wanted to. Does get the shot marker placed on him because he did something, and we'll move right along the line. I'm going to put the shot marker on these Royal Light Footmen. They have javelins. It's in their killing zone. They're going to get 5 attacks. Looking for 5s and 6s against these Royal Heavy Footmen. Alright, they're able to put a stamina damage on them, which is going to force a command test, which is kind of that's a double whammy. I like it. Okay, so we'll do a command test for the Timordan Royal Footmen. They passed it, but that was some great shooting by those guys. I think that's the first real anything that shooting has done in this game for me. I was kind of losing faith in it, but mission accomplished. That was kind of an afterthought, that move, and I was like, oh, well, let's try it, and it worked. So I was debating about shooting these archers and crossbowmen, but these guys are already in an existing fight, so they won't be in range. I'm still... Jury's still out on that for me. I think that's about it. I think we're done with the movement shooting phase for... Yeah, because the Time Warden Light Infantry got wiped out, I forgot. Their archers and crossbowmen are also in hand-to-hand already. Alright, we'll start on the left. Osmanian nomads, down to 1 stand, must have attacked with half their dice. I guess technically the Osmanians fell back, and then the provincial footmen charged them, so I'm going to let them throw their spears or their javelins as they come in. They're only going to be rolling half their dice on both because they're down to 1 stamina. Osmanians will be attacking with 7 dice, hitting on 5s and 6s. The Royal Footmen are hitting on 12 dice, 5s and 6s, re-rolling 1s because they got the winning. They're winners! Not too bad for the Osmanians. They score 4 hits on those gentlemen. Here comes their swinging back. Time Wardens score 3 hits. They do get 3 ones. We're going to re-roll those right now. Okay, right now it's a tie. They both have 2 support dice from units helping them out. Well, I've got good news and I've got bad news. It's a draw, so nobody wins, but it's just too much for the Osmanians as they shatter and are dispersed, causing the Aurelians to lose 1 reputation point or coin. Alright, they vanish in a puff of smoke. I'll take out 1 point for them, reputation coin, sorry, and the footmen end up with 1 stamina loss. Alright, the ongoing slaughter with the Berserkers of Odenheim, fighting these mercenary knights who are down to their last stamina point. Not looking good for the home team. Galen Shattersword in the middle of it all. Probably going to add on some mighty deeds to put these guys in the ground, but debating about not doing it because he can probably save it for next turn. Or next phase when the orcs probably attack his boys. Thought about it, I'm not going to do it. We're going in with 12 for the Berserkers. They're brutal, hitting on 4s. They're ferocious, they're going to get an extra one, so they get 13. They'll pick up 3 more from Galen, but he'll be hitting on 5s and 6s because he's not quite as savage as these gentlemen. And so we get 15 dice. 7 hits with 3 rerolls for 1s. They hit it with 8. The Knights will attack back with 6 dice because they have 1 stamina left, hitting on 5s and 6s. Great roll by those mercenaries. They get 4 hits. That's awesome. They're at least going to kill or put 1 stamina damage on the Berserkers. So now we get 4 support dice for the Knights. Wow, they made it really close. They will lose by 1. They'll take the last casualty. They'll be destroyed. I gotta check to see if you're destroyed if you run through your enemy, a guy, because there was a bit of wiggle room for the Osmanians over there, but these guys really don't have any wiggle room. I think they rout and run, so they're gonna have to risk the hero at the same time as these guys do their command check to make sure they don't take a stamina loss, and we'll also have a loss of 2 reputation for the Time Wardens as that mercenary knight group implodes. Wiggle, jiggle, jingle. They're down to 7 reputation points over here. Big pile to the left of reputation coins. I also forgot that Aurelians picked up 3 extra reputation points with Michael and Furnace charging in over here. That's +1. And then we get Mordrith leading his boys in a charge, so that's +1. And he's leading a charge against the enemy commander, Hugh de Slaughter. That's another +1. So they were able to swing 3 more reputation coins out of that. Okay, over here, now we've got more mercenary knights who are winning, fighting against these guys are Kaldani pikemen from the south. Timordans will have 2 supports. They'll be hitting on 5s and 6s, re-rolling 1s, and the pikemen will be hitting on 5s and 6s with 3 supports. The mercenaries do well with 5 hits, get to re-roll 3 of the 1s too on top of that. Alright, here we go, attacking back after in the face of them. They did pretty good, those mercenary knights. So let's see if these pikemen can hold their own. Holy cow, they broke out 6 hits themselves. Wow. Alright, now we'll get 6 saves for the pikemen and 4 for the footmen. Great saves by the Timordans. Both units will take a casualty or a stamina damage. The Rillians are going to get pushed back. These 3 units all have to take a check to see if they take damage on the way back. What a nightmare as the Aurelian left begins to collapse. All 3 units failed their command checks, so they all took a casualty. Crossbowmen got 1, archers or longbowmen have 1. The Kaldani pikemen from the north, they have 2 casualties now. These guys have 1 stamina left as they fall back. The Timordans loving it, charge forward, keep the winning tab. They're going to try to finish them off next turn, and that's just brutal. Next in line for the combat, Mordrith leading in his Royal Footman against Hugh de Slaughter all by himself. He does have a choice to fall back, but he will lose reputation. I don't think he's gonna. He's got all 3 of his points. His mighty deeds, sorry. He's gonna try to brawl out. Probably stupid, but he's going for it. Mordrith is brutal. He's going to throw in 2 of his mighty deeds, taking him up to 5. Plus, he's got his legendary hammer. He's going to try to crush his enemy in between the. He's just going to smash him flat like a pancake, making some biscuit out of that boy. Eight hits. 1 reroll on a 1. The legendary weapon also hits. Oh. Alright, 9 hits. Not good. Hugh needs to keep all of his dice for making saves. Does have his legendary weapon. See what he can do. He gets 3 hits. Alright, now we get saves. The legendary weapon misses. Hugh is being supported by 1 unit here. They absolutely stink the joint up. Oh, it's terrible. 4 supports, 4 support dice for Mordrith's unit. Cut it down to 2, and let's see how many hits Hugh takes here. I know he takes 1 from the legendary weapon. Stamina is only 2, which is not good. His armor is 4. So he's got 3 mighty deeds. He's going to use at least 2 of them because he's dead if he takes 1 more hit. Alright, the first one fails. Now he would have taken the 1 hit already, reducing him to a level 2 leader, so he only had 2 left. He burned 1. He couldn't make the second one, so technically he's killed. Oh, the legendary weapon Deathbringer crushes in Hugh de Slaughter's chest. Oh, that's 5 reputation down the Swanee. Timordans in trouble. They're down to 2 coins left. We still have a hand-to-hand with Is it Grom? I always get Grom and Ulak confused. That's my fault. That's Ulak against the basically 3 units, and then we have a cavalry charge. So this could be trouble. Technically, he did use 1 mighty deed to avoid a wound before he was slain. So they're actually down to 1 reputation for the Time Lords. They're hanging on by a fingernail. Alright, it's up to Ulak. Nope, oh sorry, hands are shaking there. No pressure at all, baby. He's got 10 attacks. He tied up last one, right? Yeah, so make sure no one had less than 1. They both have at least 2 stamina, so there's no big negatives there. So 10 attacks, tied up, hitting on 4s. I think he gets an extra 1 too, just for being so scary. Actually, he gets 3 more for towering and impetuous. So wow. Ulak is not feeling it with only 4 hits. Kind of really left the door open again. Didn't get his Wheaties this morning or something. He's kind of punted 2 turns in a row. Royal Spearman gonna try to finish him off with 12 attacks. They score 6 hits. Ulak is uphill, so he'll get 2 saves from supports. The Eurylians will get 4. Ulak is forced back after losing the fight. He takes another stamina damage. He's down to 1 stamina, so he'll be at half strength next turn. The Royal Footmen and their supports, or the Royal Spearmen and their supports, move forward, maintain contact. They're keeping the winning tab, and hopefully they'll finish him off. And then the final fight of the Eurylian turn will be this cavalry nightmare with 2 leaders, 2 heroes involved. Wow, here we go. First up, the Timordans will get a chance to countercharge if they can pass a command check. Alright, we will get a thunderous charge versus a counter charge with 2 level 3 heroes involved. And let's see if these guys are within half a spear throw. They technically are not, so we'll get 1 support for the provincial provincial Timordan Knights versus the 2 supports that the provincial Eurylian Knights will get. Eurylians will be rolling first. They're going to get 12 dice for the Knights with Thunderous Charge. They'll be hitting on 4s, so that's going to be horrific. And they're re-rolling 1s for charging. They'll pick up 3 extra attacks from their leader, who is also brutal. Infernus is going to throw in 1 Mighty Deed for an extra hit. He's going for the killing blow. I got to check these guys. I think they only have 3 stamina. They only be rolling at half strength. He might throw more in here in a minute. Yes, they only have a stamina of 3. Cavalry a little bit more brittle. He's going to throw in 2 Mighty Deeds and go for the death blow, as they'll only be attacking at half strength. Eurylians score 9 hits. They get 3 1s to reroll here. Looking bad for the Timordans. Wolfred de Gore knows the army's basically hanging on by a fingernail. He's going to throw all 3 Mighty Deeds in, try to turn this ship around. The Provincial Knights attacking with 6 dice, re-rolling 1s. If you couldn't get it from his name, he is brutal. He's going to be hitting on 4s. They score 5 hits, got 2 1s to re-roll. See how that goes. 11 versus 7 hits right now. We're going to get... Actually going to be the... Timordans are uphill, so they're going to get the same amount of support dice. Both going to get 4. And they're both able to reverse 1 hit. Unfortunately, that'll be 2 hits, 2 stamina hits to the provincial Timordan Knights. They're going to be destroyed. They would retreat back through these gentlemen up, make a saving throw. We get 2 risks to hero with no, what's it called? It's no mighty deeds to reverse anything. I think they lose 2 or 3 reputation, which they don't even have because the knights are destroyed. And that is ball game, as the Timorden basically morale collapses. Mostly with the death of Hugh de Slaughter, as he is crushed under the maul of Mordrith, who is just basically just looking at the pothole he just filled in with his body. Destroyed. And yeah, pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't the biggest battle, but it was really an awesome battle, and the system gave me a chance to use a lot of the cool things from the system. So yeah, I don't think there's anything I didn't like. I really didn't. It played quickly, which isn't horrible when you're used to really long games. It wasn't, you know, I was a little bit slow because I was feeling a bit under the weather this week, so I was kind of puttering around. I think I was getting over some kind of virus, so my energy level's been crap. I think I went to bed like 3 times in the afternoon this week when I got home from work and just slept all night. Just powering up on vitamin B12 to keep it going. Feeling a little better today. Just don't bounce back like when we were 20, do we? Look at that, another tangent again, sidetrack. That's my specialty. But it took a couple days. It probably would have taken one day, you know, if I would have known the rules, would have had an opponent over here. So it's definitely a club night game. The reputation system is amazing. It's kind of like turbocharged chain of command, sharp practice, infamy, the morale system. So is that what this is called? Yeah, force morale. I have to go over and look at my infamy book real quick. I was like getting terminology messed up from different games. I got a little bit of fantasy in it with the giants. The orcs didn't get to do anything. I punted with this one hero. He was supporting. I really felt like I didn't really expect to lose 5 reputation points, but I really couldn't retreat with Hugh de Slaughter. Just not in his personality. No way. He was hoping to hold out and then the unit behind him come to the rescue. But it was a tale of 2 cities, basically. The Timordens on the right and the center on their left and center got crushed. But on the Timorden right, nothing but win, just driving the Aurelians back. You know, Kaldani pikemen fighting a fighting withdrawal the whole time, supported by the Aurelian archers and crossbowmen, who really didn't get it to do much. I'd like to brush up on it. Just don't know. I haven't used missiles very well. I need to work on that. I think if you have cover, that would work, and also like a fortification. Wow, you could really mess somebody up. I just open field battle. I don't know. I got to work on that. That was probably an error on my part, and I was more interested in using them in support than I were for them moving around and engaging. Maybe skirmish troops might have been a better option. I'll have to look into that. Plus, we're going to add in more inhuman troops. We're going to add in spellcasters and summoners and all kinds of fun stuff as this progresses. More heroes, more fun, more just absolute slaughter. So this was a trial run for me, and I'm very, very happy. And I highly recommend this game. It's cool. I was like sweating on that turn 3 stuff. So it was going back and forth. Alright, so that's it. So it's a victory for the Aurelians. They're actually going to drive farther into Timorden territory. They have now captured Walden and Sudbury, as we see here on the map. We're finally starting to have some movement in the campaign after 3 years, so took a little long, but yeah, that's cool.
I'm glad I got the forces multi-base now. Single units was great for skirmish games. This might be considered a skirmish game. I don't think I play it like one, but that's just normally me. And if you want to watch more material on this, of course, watch the Two Fat Lardies with James Morris. When he basically plays a game with Rich and has a whole tutorial, they're always amazing. The Medieval Wargamer has got some games. I believe there's a lot of people on the Plastic Crack podcast getting into this. Dom from Boots on the Table's got a game. He'll probably play more. And I'm assuming everybody else from the whole community will start playing more and more of this game, because you can use with existing models you might already have for other forces or other, and it's basically it's very flexible. You can do a lot of different time periods. You can go historical, you can go fictional. In the back of the book they have a great quick reference sheet. It's 2 pages, I think. They've got the index and the rulebook, which is great. The rulebook itself is great. The sample armies really help you out a lot, and then the army generators in the back were very simple for me to using the different traits and the point system and everything in the back for each trait, and then it has a breakdown of mounted knights, mounted heavy knights, mounted heavy knights with missile weapons, light riders, heavy footmen with spear, light infantry. It's got examples of each, a template already set out, and then it gives you base stats to start with and a point total, and then it's got all the options you can add on that will add flavor to your unit. So it was really well done. I think you can obviously tell this gentleman, James Morris, did a wonderful job. And it's got the rule book itself, you'll see reviews like in the Medieval Wargamer or flip throughs. He's got examples of 2 like historical or fictional generals that give you kind of argue out throughout page by page. And yeah, and it's well done. It's an entertaining read and ends up being a good rule system. So it really checks all the boxes for me. So that's all I got. It's freezing cold here. I don't live in Canada, but I'm kind of a wuss now that I've moved farther south. This whole week's supposed to suck. Yeah, just staying warm down here in the basement as best I can, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're nice and warm wherever you are, and I hope you're having fun. So that's the first week of the New Year's, first battle done. Loving it. All right, guys, take care now. Bye.